come back.
Just because you're not here doesn't mean that people aren't counting on you.
Who will take care of me?
Have you planned for her future when you're not in it?
Statistics show that people die in car accidents more than anything else. There are an estimated 43,000 people killed in car accidents in the United States every year. Of those accident victims, only about 33% have a living will. A living will is a legal document that indicates what life-prolonging treatments, if any, you would approve of. Terri Schiavo was just 26 when she suffered a heart attack that damaged her brain, leaving her in a permanent vegetative state. Her parents wanted her to be kept alive, while her husband stated that Terri would not want to live on a machine. It took 7 years of legal battles and torn family relationships before the court granted the wishes of the spouse.
Five years since the Terri Schiavo high-profile Right to Die case, and there's little indication it prompted more Americans to have a living will. In the months surrounding the Florida woman's death, which is 5 years ago tomorrow, there was a notable spike in people putting their own end-of-life wishes in writing. But experts say today just 20% to 30% of U.S. adults have advance directives, the same range as before the Schiavo case. Much of the problem is people are not entirely sure what they do, and there is also fear of limited life-saving treatment.
Obtaining a living will is one of the easiest ways to lessen the burden on your loved ones and guarantee that your wishes are granted. A last will and testament is a legal document that outlines the details of who will inherit your items and when your items will be distributed. A thorough will answer who is your personal representative or executor. What will your executor control? Who are your beneficiaries? How are assets to be transferred? And who will be the guardian of your children? Each state has different requirements which make a will valid. In the state of Florida, you must be 18 years old, be of sound mind, and have at least 2 witnesses. Your will does not need to be notarized. However, if one or both of your witnesses are deceased or are not able to provide an affidavit stating that they have witnessed the execution of your will, then your will can be contested. The safest action is to self-prove your will. This means that you and your witnesses must sign your will in the presence of each other and in front of a notary. This is to be done after swearing under oath that the document is your will and that the witnesses acknowledge their role. Making a last will and testament is simple and does not need to be costly. Not having a will can be far more costly and complicated. In the state of Florida, an estate that does not have a will will be divided according to a formula defined on a law governing intestate inheritance, that is dying without a will. The law only recognizes relatives and excludes lovers, friends, or charities. It is often a long, drawn-out process and will be very costly. The division of your estate will be handled by court-appointed personnel, not your family.
The disputes over intestate inheritance can be dramatic, so much so that the Investigative Discovery Channel has a show dedicated to such stories. The Will: Family Secrets Revealed.
In 2007, Kitty Tipton Oakes, wife of late jazz musician Billy Tipton, dies in a hospital near Spokane, Washington. She leaves behind an estate worth $300,000. But Kitty didn't have a will. The children of jazz musician Billy Tipton are fighting in court over $300,000 left by their mother, Kitty. Every step seems to reveal new secrets that threaten their claim to be rightful heirs. Under Washington law, adopted children are treated the same as biological children, so this case appears to be quite straightforward. In the absence of a will, all three brothers should automatically get an equal share of the estate. But as attorney Lynn St. Louis soon discovers, the Tipton family closet is full of skeletons that will make this anything but a straightforward inheritance.
In this case, legal adoption papers were absent and a legal battle ensued over who the rightful heirs were. After much fighting and embarrassment for the family, the boys were found to be the heirs. However, after legal fees, there was only a few $1,000s left to be split.
It is clear that dying without a will can lead to many complications. Despite this fact, 60% of Americans die without a will. Why do so many Americans leave this important task undone? Many people feel that their assets will be automatically passed on under state law. Some believe their assets are not substantial enough to justify a will. Others believe they're too young to be concerned with making a will. Finally, it is concern over the cost of preparing a will, as well as discomfort discussing end-of-life issues that prevent some people from making a will. In reality, we cannot assume the state will distribute our possessions properly, and no amount of hard-earned assets is too small to protect. Even young adults could benefit from making their final wishes known. Your family would feel far more uncomfortable if they made preparations that you would not approve of. We are also fortunate in this day and age that there are many cost-effective ways to draw up a will. Quicken Willmaker software can be downloaded to your computer for just about $40. LegalZoom typically charges between $59 and $109 to complete your will.
As America's #1 online legal service, LegalZoom has helped hundreds of thousands of people create their wills. Our comprehensive last will was developed by expert attorneys and includes special provisions to help protect the ones you love, even your pets. So how does it work? Just answer a few questions in our secure online environment. We'll review your answers, create your customized will, and send it to you, ready to sign.
For the sake of your loved ones, take the time to protect your assets and make your final wishes known.